I'm Laura Hoy for Benzinga, and here's a look at what you can expect from the markets today, Thursday, September 19th. The Federal Reserve meeting ended yesterday with the bank pledging to continue its $85 billion per month stimulus spending plan. The news sent markets soaring. 10-year Treasury yields were up 2.706%. The Dow Jones ended up 0.9%. And the S&P 500 closed at 20.76 points, a new record. With just 1 year to go in the European Banking Rescue Program, Eurozone banks are pushing for new loans to help ease the pain of the financial crisis. The European Central Bank lent nearly €1 trillion in 2011 to help struggling banks. However, those loans are coming due in 2015. Many are worried that banks in struggling countries like Spain and Italy will not be able to stand on their own when the loans mature. The SEC has proposed a new rule which would require companies to disclose the gap between employee salaries and executive pay. Many are criticizing the rule, saying those details don't provide insight into the company's financial health and rather shame chief executives. A Bank of Japan board member said on Thursday that the country was not in need of further stimulus at the moment. He said that Japan's planned sales tax hike is not likely to impact the economy in the long run, and that the bank would consider more stimulus if the country was hit by severe shock. Sharp announced that it's planning to raise $1.67 billion through share issuance and investments from its business partners. The company has earmarked those funds for investment in liquid crystal displays used in smartphones and R&D in growth segments like robotics and healthcare. Asian markets were up on Thursday. The Japanese Nikkei was up 1.8%. The Hang Seng Index was up by 1.67%, and Indonesia's JSX had the largest gains, up by 4.93%. European markets benefited from yesterday's Fed decision. The UK's FTSE was up 1.38%, the Eurozone Stoxx 600 was up 1.11%, the German DAX grew 1.27%, and the Spanish IBEX was up by 1.19%. Commodity markets also gained from news that the Fed was planning to continue its stimulus. Brent futures were up 0.07% and WTI futures were up 0.51%. Gold gained 4.91% and silver was up 7.17%. Industrial metals were also up. Copper gained 1.83%. and aluminum was up 0.42%. The dollar lost ground to the euro, down 0.3%, but gained 0.97% against the yen and 0.37% against the pound. The dollar also lost to the rupee, down 2.54%. Procter & Gamble continued its upward climb and gained 0.60% in pre-market trade. Berkshire Hathaway benefited from the Fed's decision and was up 0.39% in pre-market trade. National Oil well Varco was down 10.39% in pre-market trade after gaining nearly a percentage point in the past 5 days. Oracle lost 2.3% in pre-market trade after its earnings report showed an 8% rise in profit and a weak outlook. Verizon lost 0.84% in pre-market trade after complaints about connectivity to the company's LTE high-speed network. Earnings on Thursday include ConAgra Foods, IHS, Rite Aid, and Pier 1 Imports. On Thursday's economic calendar, we'll see initial and continuing jobless claims, existing home sales and current account data from the U.S., British retail sales, and the Swiss National Bank's interest rate decision. And that's it for today's Market Primer. I'm Laura Hoy for Benzinga, wishing all of you a profitable Thursday.